Coach, firstly, congratulations on the results and through to the next round. Some out of the next round.
Yeah, congratulations to Mamelodi Sundowns. Thanks, Ships. Good afternoon to members of the media. Congratulations to the team. I thought, a very complicated game. I mean, for many reasons, I think you would know. And then also got even more complicated with the red card. But yeah, a cup game where the result really matters, and now we move to the next round, and we get to focus a little bit more also on the league with some difficult fixtures coming up. Excuse me.
No stress.
Yeah. Sorry.
No stress.
I told you guys sorry, and I must apologize again. I'm really struggling with the flu.
Okay, Coach, what was the plan after the red card? Because I'm sure you wanted a bit more from your team, especially in the first half after the red card. Something was missing, but you made changes as well. So just talk to us in that moment and what you saw from your team.
Yeah, I made a very big tactical mistake after the red card. Yeah. And it's a mistake I committed last season. And I told the players at halftime that I made a mistake, I repeated it, and I have to rectify it. And then, fortunately, I work with such good human beings that they forgave me, number one. And number two, they helped me to rectify it. And it got a lot better in the second half, and that's why I congratulate the team, because the game of football belongs to them. It was important that we won, important that we got the goal from the mistake that was rectified, and I'm very proud of the players, very proud.
Coach, after very impressive pre-season, are you surprised with the lack of, I would say, fluency of just Sundowns making chances after chance last season?
But I think we're making a lot of chances. I think the difference is just in pre-season we scored the chances. Again today, man of the match is the goalkeeper against Chiefs. I think also an impressive performance from the goalkeeper against Sekhukhune, an impressive performance from the goalkeeper. So for 3 matches in a row now, the opposition goalkeeper is the one that really prevents us. And to be honest, I spoke to some players from Swallows after, and they say very dominant. Your team is really difficult to contain. Against Chiefs, I was speaking to some of the players, and they said to me, Coach, the team is so it's not a lack of creating the chances, and people must not. And I struggle when people say that. Sometimes in South Africa, we don't watch the 90 minutes. We look at the score, it's 2-1, it's 1-0, and we think that reflects the match. It's the biggest mistake we make, because and now also you look at even how we analyze games a little bit more, not just from merely a possession perspective, from a metrics perspective. We also speak about field tilt. And if you look at the field tilt of all our matches, the dominance is in and around the box of the opposition, and so we keep the stove hot. We've got very good circulation. We try to play a little bit there, and then you also can't get into that space to compare 100% the European trip, because also you're playing on surfaces that don't need an extra touch to make sure the play is faster. And so before the gaps are closed, the ball has already arrived in those areas. It's very difficult when we play on surfaces. And you saw even Peter's chance in the previous game. It's not really even about Peter missing. It's about the bubble that it takes just before it arrives to his feet. So these things are and one of the things I've always said, that South Africa, before we can even speak about the standard of the game improving, we've got to improve the quality of the fields, and I've watched a couple of the games now. There's very few fields now or stadiums that really have a very smooth surface, and that should be a worry for South African football. But and even on Thursday, as the coaches, I was speaking to Jose, I was speaking to Kevin, and a lot of the coaches are saying, my goodness, the stadiums, the fields are not good enough, But it's better I say these things after we've won, because if I say them, and funny, Jose and I said the same thing. We said, if we voice this opinion about the fields, everyone thinks, they're making excuses. It's not excuses when you've won. You've won, and you're just trying to help the game to go to another level. And as technicians, this is our responsibility. But I'm very proud of this group of players. Without no complaints, no excuses. We always do the best that we can, and we put the team first and try to make the Yellow Nation and the supporters very happy.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Carl.
Congratulations on the win. Because I gave myself time today to properly watch it, to watch Marcelo play. He really plays like he's shaking hands with heaven. What exactly for you?
Sorry. I like that.
What exactly, Coach? What
No,
exactly?
no, it's gorgeous. You've got to repeat that because I've got, it's a line I've got to steal. Like the hands are in heaven.
It's shaking hands with heaven.
Oh, yeah. No, if you've shaken hands with heaven, my goodness, are you privileged? It's unbelievable. That is such a very good expression. I love it.
So for you, Coach, technically, because not a lot has been said about him, but for you, technically, can you just explain how special a player is in your own point of view?
Marcelo makes others look good. Really, he makes the team look good. I'm so proud of the performances of Debza. I'm so proud of the performances of Modiba, Shishi, Lucas. But if you watch a little bit closely, Marcelo makes them also look very good. He makes the ball move faster. He arrives in the spaces faster. He drags opponents out of with not just second but also third movements. Very intelligent footballer. I'm not surprised. He flirted with the European space like Arsenal, and that's not just Arsenal is really top tier Europe. And we are very privileged as a club to have a footballer like Marcelo. He is, as I said, I compared Lucas. Marcelo is a ceiling raiser. In basketball, that's what you call these type of players. They make you not just play better, but they also make you function better with the dynamics and you are able to solve a lot of problems on the pitch with their presence. And so, but of course, also without other intelligent footballers around him, it's not possible. So it's iron sharpening iron. He's surrounded by such good players. He's got Tebza next to him. He's got Mshishi. He's got today. I thought Grant and Toby were excellent. Zero mistake. Very aggressive 1v1s with a high line, big risk. Modiba, I thought today was very, very good. Played 3 or 4 positions. 2 he shouldn't have because of it was me, and in 2 positions he shouldn't have played. But he played and without any complaints. Lisibanku, who played well. Masako is young and is improving all the time. He's receiving so much information. Sometimes I feel it's overload, but we have to. Obas was good today. Again, also another one that played 3 or 4 positions today. Ronza quiet. Zungu came in steady and stable. Lucas good. Peter came in also always energy, and the young Mabena also came in. So very proud of it. It's a team effort and very proud of the collective contribution of everybody.
Thanks, congrats, Coach.
Sure,
this
thank
is
you.
From City Press.
Sure, this
Maybe
is
just to take you back, out of interest, what was your mistake and how did you rectify it?
all I can say is it was a big mistake. And the players know it because I come as I am. I come as I am. I told them even at the beginning that I'm merely but just human with my flaws, with my mistakes, and I'm not always right. And fortunately, we are a team, and I cover them, they cover me. We help each other to be better and better, and they help me to be a better coach and to be a better human being. And as I always say, I'm just privileged that I'm able to coach such a talented group of players, but also a group of very good human beings. So yeah, I don't want to go too much into it because it's for us and stays in the change room.
Coach,
Sure, excuse me.
a bit of a two-part question.
Sure.
How much did the halftime help you?
Yes.
Because when August came in, at times it looked a bit like a deer in headlights, and in the second half it looked like everyone's position was a bit more defined, and they were able to find their own spaces. And you scored another goal off your pressing. And the second question, I was just thinking of something that for the past, let me say since 2018,
Yeah.
Temba has always played the game within the game.
Yeah.
Because at one point it was Temba and Pace,
Yeah.
Temba and Gaspar.
Yeah.
It's like it almost seems as if he has to integrate whichever new forward has to come and play the game, but also play the game of like integrating the other player.
But that profiles Mishishi is so intelligent. I've said it so many times, we are going to struggle to find another Tembazwana. South Africa is going to struggle because it's a prototype. He's a space navigator. A space navigator, think of Waze for an example. Waze says go left, go right, but maybe even a couple of kilometers ahead of you, and it's not in its own way of finding where you want to go. The destination is very clear, but it's finding detours and sensing where the roadblocks are, sensing where there's traffic, sensing. So what you're saying is exactly that, sensing where's the opposition, sensing where's my teammates, sensing what's the strengths and the weaknesses of the people I'm playing against, and then navigating the space to find the best possible route to achieving the end product, to find the goal. So you've made a very good analysis of Temba, and I think as I said, he goes to Bafana and you see the same thing. He has to play maybe with Zakelele Pasa, he has to play with Lyle Foster, and he's still the same Temba, but with possibilities of helping the team to create possibilities offensively. And only intelligent football players can do that. And Mishishi's got a brain that is second to none.
The team finding itself.
Yes, no, and I was very happy for halftime. It couldn't have come any sooner. Maybe I heard Pep saying with stoppages you have to use basketball. I would love also to have timeouts. You know what I mean? Because then you can easily, especially once there's situations where you get red cards, and because that changes completely the complexion of the game. And now you've got a plan, and the plan changes and is thrown completely out the window because the opposition then take a different structure. So as opposed to having AJ and Mtetwa and then Never Die and Mjali, now you only have 1 6 and 2 8s, and then maybe they reinforce the midfield a little bit with Malinga dropping and only Mabasa on top. And so what do? You can't still approach it the same way as you wanted to when they had a box in the midfield, or even a diamond that went man for man with your structure and your possibilities inside. And of course, because the coach knows us and knows the schemes, so he went and adopted something very similar. And so halftime we had to change a little bit aggressively, but and also try to get the players not to make too many movements, because too many movements help to reinforce the defensive structure of the opposition. So yeah, halftime was very, very useful.
Last three questions from Olifes, Skepe, covered. So you can go ahead, Skepe, and no, yeah.
Skepe.
In the last game against Chiefs and in the game today, I saw you were a bit, I don't know if I should say unhappy, but
yeah.
always demonstration on the bench.
Yeah.
What's his name? Maseko would want to go behind the player when there's a pass in front that could have been made. And I see Nku's doing the same thing. But what's that about? Is it an attacking thing where you don't want to go down, on the outside and pass on the inside? What does it do to your balance as well? Because it seems when they are on the field, you attack more on that side and try to play crosses, but it's something that we haven't really seen more of at Sundowns. And also, a second one is, Tibbs against Skukuni, there was a bad tackle on him. Red card today, bad tackle. I think even against Chiefs, there was something a bit similar. Do you feel it's a bit targeted because, football of the season and all those things?
Tibbs are targeted. I'm not sure. I don't know. My feelings could be misguiding. Maybe it has to do with the noise that happened when he was awarded the award of Football of the Season. There was a lot said about it, and maybe the reaction is a little bit in that space. I don't know, but what do they say about Heavy being the head that carries the crown? Unfortunately, is the price on the tag of being Football of the Season, and he has to find ways. He has to find ways, and we'll help him to find the ways. But also maybe good that the officials are also clamping down on it, and that was good to see also today. Protection from the referee. So I would say that would be my answer to that question. Maseko and Nku. Think about it in this context. Behind the fullback, what would generally then be the second action after? Would be a cross. Do we have the profile of the strikers to be able to deal with that picture? No. And so it's not just about preference, it's about executing the right actions that lead to possibilities of playing to the strengths of the team. There's a lot of coaching that needs to be done. I can just put it like that, because there's a lot of detail. The timing of the runs, the movements, the occupying of the half space to try to find isolations and maybe make it a little bit more clearer for them. But also the detraining, because you find a Maseko that comes from a Swallows, for an example, and what does he have to do after getting the ball and receiving it in the wide channels? He's got to deliver it for Krobler. Lisibanku has got to deliver it for Ranga. Now you have to, and that's a process I've also spoken about in the past. Sometimes we identify these players with certain attributes and we see the potential in these things, but the process is not linear, that they arrive and we go straight. Sometimes they arrive, we have to go backwards and erase the data that was instilled in before. And that is also taking a bit of time, and without hampering the confidence of the player, because now and I've spoken about this and don't want to go into too much the details of the feel-good hormones. The feel-good hormones say, whenever I do that and I have an assist, I think I've done very, very well, so the body feels good. Now you're actually trying to get feel-good hormones from different actions, and now the body says, but I'm resisting this thing because this thing doesn't give me the feel-good endorphins, serotonin, all these things. So coaching is not so. People think coaching is okay. Guys, put there. It's such a process, and we have to try to help these players to be better. But while trying to help them to be better, you have to keep them feeling good and confident about their qualities and their abilities, and then also try to infuse them into the team and the schemes of the team and the qualities, and there's so many things. Let's not go too much into that. It will take too long.
Coach,
Sure.
I just wanted to find out from you, from a Bongani Zungu's perspective, what does he need to do more to break into the team? A lot was expected when he came back, but he's not really a mainstay in the team. He gets roles there and there, but what are you not getting from him?
He's getting there. He's getting there. He's understanding. He's getting there. Again, with Bongs Bongs has struggled. And it's not just look back, go back. Don't just look here now. Bongs had a stint at Amiens and then was sent on loan to Rangers and played a little bit and then had a little bit of off-field issues and all these things. So he said to me the other day, and this is the starting point, he said to me, I'm falling in love with the game again. It's a big statement that. And you have to understand, imagine if you're a player like Bongani Zungu with all the hardships that you've gone through. Now, the first thing is you start to protect your heart from the game because it's hurt you so much. And now the process is to get Bongani Zungu to fall in love with the game again, to make the sacrifices for football again, to make football feel as number one. And so that, again, is also another process. But he's getting there. He really, really is getting there. He's looking trimmer. I don't know if you guys see, he's lost a lot of weight, Bongani Zungu. And so last season when I said Zungu needs to lose weight, and you guys were also upset with the weight of Zungu, you also got to now publicly congratulate him for working so hard, especially because he's shred 3-4 kilos now, and that's very, very difficult. And so again, process, and I'm very proud of him and very proud of these players, but we have to manage these they are human beings, and human beings are very delicate, very, very delicate creatures. Similar to me, I have fears, I have ambitions, and I come here and I sit here and all of you are looking at me giving the right answers, and sometimes I give the wrong answers. And sometimes I give answers that you guys, oh, but this guy, what is he talking about? But I'm human. And you forget that I'm human. But that's the same with my players. They are human. They've got fears, they've got feelings, they've got emotions, they've got families, they've got ambitions, they've got failures. Do you know what I mean? And that's for everybody. And you've just got to manage. People say, but why is he always taking Thembazwane off? And they try to stir a narrative. Thembazwane is 34 years old. Think of many players that are 34 years old. How do they play 90 minutes every 3 or 4 days? It doesn't even happen in Europe. It's not possible. So people expect me to play Mshishi every 3 or 4 days, 90 minutes every 3 or 4 days. And then what's going to happen when, because of wear and tear, I don't have Mshishi. And so I've got to be very careful. When Kevin Hunt does it to Bradley Krobler, nobody says anything. But when Rulani does it to Thembazwane, Rulani has an agenda. An agenda where when he's the captain of the team. How is that possible? You know. So sometimes we forget some of the things, and we try to decorate things and find things that don't exist merely because it's Rulani, you know. And we forget that Rulani is also human. Rulani is human. He's got fears. He's got ambitions. He's got emotions, and he feels the pain of being unduly criticized. But I also supposed that then it comes to that space where I said about Debza, heavy is the head that carries the crown. And if I don't want to receive undue criticism, then I shouldn't be sitting in this seat and in this position, because it comes with, unfortunately, the territory. And I have made terms and peace with it. I've grown thick skin with it, and maybe like this is a saying Shuki taught me. The guy is never, a prophet is never appreciated at home. I accept it. I've accepted it since last year, and I will continue to accept it and do the best that I can for this football club, and wear the crown, and as heavy as it is sometimes, but wear it with a lot of responsibility, diligence, and understanding that I don't represent myself.
Two last questions regarding golden arrows. Is there any questions regarding golden arrows, or you wait for a voice clip because we won't have time for a press conference? Okay, thank you, colleagues.
Thank you so much.